Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Char here, back with another episode of Marvel Rewind. This is episode 3, and this week we're doing another classic matchup, maybe just as classic as the original episode, Spider-Man versus Rhino. This week we have Ultron, and who better to take him on than Iron Man from the core set. Let's get down to the table and see how it goes. Okay, so here we are at the table doing this classic matchup, Iron Man versus Ultron. Again, doesn't get more classic than this, and maybe Spider-Man versus Rhino, which is the first episode of the series. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and check it out along with us taking on Claw. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we have Ultron mostly set up here. He starts with 22 hit points on stage 2 because we're doing expert. His main scheme, the Crimson Cowl. The setup is put the Ultron drone's environment into play. We also know that he has his own encounter deck, the standard and expert encounter sets because we're on expert, along with under attack is his recommended modular. So we're going to go ahead and put all these together and shuffle them up. Now, if this takes more than one attempt, what's going to happen is that when the game starts, there's probably going to be a cut, and it should be either it's going to be me shuffling again or an already shuffled deck. I'm not exactly sure how I'll do it. But of course, the point of the Marvel Rewind series is to show decks that can beat these villains on expert mode when, with the card pool at the time. So even though we might take a couple losses to these villains in the recording process, the point of the series is to show the victory, and it's to defeat every expert villain. Claw's our toughest one so far. Took 3 attempts with the Aggression Black Panther deck, so let's see if Ultron can give us a similar run for our money. We have our own identity here, Iron Man, and we're playing leadership today, mostly because the Hawkeye ally is very strong and can give us a bit of things to do in alter ego while we're waiting for Tony to get set up with the Iron Man suit. So that should be a ton of fun. And we're just going to shuffle up here, and then we'll probably leave a pause afterwards so I know that I can cut and do, other things in case this is not the attempt that gets it. All right, that's pretty well shuffled up here. So now we're going to go ahead and advance the main scheme to stage 1B. We get this one revealed ability. Each player puts a top card of their deck into play face down, engages a drone minion. So we will have no idea what this is, but now we do the player's setup. We know that Tony, he has 9 hit points. We have that set on the dial. Ultron has his 22. And we're just going to go ahead and start this attempt here. So no more shuffling the deck. We're just going to draw up, see what we get. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, Nick Fury is a card I do love to play, but I think in this challenge today, it's not actually worth for turn 1 to do that. So maybe I'll just discard these 4. The make the call gives us an opportunity to play him if we draw into nothing better, but we're just going to draw 4 more and see if we can get a double or some tech upgrades. 2, 3, 4. Okay, that looks good to me. I think we want to start off using our futurist ability here, so we're going to use that action. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 to your hand, and discard the others. Okay, so we have a Hawkeye here, the power of leadership. Let me think about my turn real quick. We need to get Pepper Potts down for sure. So if we spend these 2, we get her down. We could make the call in Hawkeye. That is definitely an option. I have to think here. Or we just get in 2 rocket boots using Pepper. I think that might be better. I don't actually know. No, I think we'll do this. Get in a Hawkeye, and then can we still play 1 rocket boot? I don't think so. Because, yeah, the make the call is going to count. We're going to go into the next round with 0 tech upgrades. Is really scary. But, I'm not actually sure here. I think we're okay with not playing both rocket boots. We'll just keep 1 in hand. Okay, so I think we'll just add... Oh, wait, I didn't even figure out what we're adding here. Maybe we can play both rocket boots. I think we want to take Wait, if we take the power of leadership, that should make it better. We'll take the power of leadership and discard these two. Okay, now we have to see how we're doing this because I didn't even think about that. Okay, so we're gonna play Pepper Potts here. We're gonna spend an energy and an inspired, putting the energy on top. Pepper Potts is going to come into play. She's a resource, then we can exhaust her to generate the resource of the top card of the discard pile. So we have a double in there currently. Yeah, so I think what we'll do is we'll spend Pepper Potts and a Rocket Boot for make the call. We're going to pay the printed cost of any ally in the discard pile. That was a 3 cost, so we're going to go ahead and put Hawkeye into play. Where do we get Nick Fury? Oh, wait, we have... No. Nick Fury does let us draw 3 here, though. No, let's get Hawkeye. I think he's going to be more valuable. We'll get Hawkeye into play. He comes into play with the 4 arrow counters on him, and whenever a minion enters play, we can remove one of them and deal damage. So 4 come in. Then we have these 2 cards in our hand. We're just going to spend 1 resource here, putting that at the top. To play a Rocket Boot, we get 1 extra hit point, so we're at 10. And that's not a terrible turn, all things considered. We got Hawkeye down. I think we'll just have Hawkeye swing for 1 on this drone. It was a genius. Oh, yeah, I shouldn't have swung that now that I think about it because I did set up my discard pile, but it's actually pretty good here. We have a double to use off Pepper next turn, and Hawkeye takes a consequential. All right, that's going to end our turn. We're going to ready up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards here. Avengers Mansion, Stark Tower. This might be a Nick Fury turn just so we can draw into some upgrades. Okay, Ultron is going to put 1 threat on the main scheme here. Then he's going to scheme for a base of 2, 3. So it's going to pop this. It's going to go into the next one, Assault on NORAD. When revealed, each player puts the top card of their deck face down and engage with them as a drone minion. So Assault on NORAD is going to come in. We're going to get a drone minion here. And since it came in afterwards, Ultron is going to scheme for 1, or the drone minion is going to scheme for 1. We're going to choose not to use our response because we do want the double here. And then now the encounter card. Each drone minion engaged with your hero attacks you. If no attacks were made this way, put another drone minion in play. Okay, so we have 2 drone minions in play here. And that's fine. We're still also not going to use the response because we want that double to use this turn. So I think what we're going to do is... Do we want Nick Fury or do we want the Avengers Mansion? I guess we want Nick Fury. We're going to use Pepper Potts and the strength here to make the call Nick Fury. Oh, wait. And then we're also going to put the double on top. But I don't think it's going to matter. We're going to get Nick Fury into play. And we're going to use his ability to draw 3 cards here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay. Got a lot of allies. Then I think we're going to use our Futurist ability. We're going to look at the top 3 cards. And then pick 1 to add to our hand. Ooh, the Arc Reactor is exactly what we want here. We are getting rid of our last make the call, though. And then we'll put the Science on top, just in case we need to go aerial. But it's not looking like we'll be able to. Okay. And we just need to get some upgrades down here. So what I want to do is we need the Arc Reactor for sure so we can knock out some of these drones. What do I want to keep in hand is the question. So this is 2 and then 3. So I can keep 1 card in hand this turn. Do we keep Mockingbird maybe? Mockingbird would be good. Or do we keep Avengers Mansion or... we have no more make the call, so I think I do like the ally here. Or do we keep Stark Tower? This is a tough one here. I think we'll just keep Stark Tower. We'll just trash the Mockingbird. So, yeah, let's do that. I'm going to spend these 2 resources here to go ahead and play the Arc Reactor. We can exhaust it to ready Iron Man, which is super strong here. Then we're going to spend these 3 resources to go ahead and play our Mark 5 armor. We're going to leave the power of leadership at the top just in case we draw into another ally. We get +6 hit points going from 10 up to 16. All right. Now what we're going to do is keep the Stark Tower in hand. Then we're going to flip up here into Iron Man. So right now we currently have a hand size of 4 because we have 3 upgrades on the board, plus our hand size of 1. We're gonna have Iron Man swing on one of these drones here. It's gonna be a haymaker. We're gonna go ahead and spend the arc reactor to ready up. We're gonna swing on another one of these drones here. It was our powered gauntlet. So I am glad that we kept the Stark Tower just in case. The powered gauntlets are also really good in this scenario. Okay, Ultron has 1 threat on the main here. I think I want Hawkeye to just stay up and preserve his HP. I know he has a couple cards that deal 1 damage. I think we're just going to have... This is tough. Let's just have Nick Fury swing for 2, I think. Bring Ultron down to 20 health. First damage of the game. And now we're going to ready everything up. So we're already doing decently here in terms of the build out. Let's just keep it going. We're going to keep the Stark Tower in hand and drop 3 more. 2, 3. Okay, we've got an inspired supersonic punch. Okay. This isn't a great hand by any means, but we can make it work. It's going to go up to 2. So it says, after placing threat here during step 1 of the villain phase, each player must choose to either place 2 threat here or for the top card of their deck, engage with them as a drone minion. I think we want to... Let's have Hawkeye use his counters, so we'll go ahead and let him... do I place the 2 threat? I think we'll place the 2 threat. We'll put this at 4. Ultron is now going to attack us. When he attacks you, we put the top card of our deck face down into play as a drone minion. And then we're going to use Hawkeye's response here. After minion enters play, we're going to go ahead and defeat it. And then he loses one of the counters. And then until the end of the attack, he gets +1 for every drone minion. Okay, he doesn't have any. We're going to go ahead and block with Nick Fury here. For 2 damage, he's going to be defeated. And now we have an encounter card to deal with. Rage of Ultron. Ultron schemes, discard the top card of your deck. Or Ultron attacks you, discard the top card of your deck for each damage dealt by the attack. So Ultron is going to attack us again. When he attacks you, we're going to get another minion. We're going to have Hawkeye go ahead and spend a counter to go ahead and snipe that. Another powered gauntlet gone. He's attacking here. I think we'll just take this. It's a base of 2. 3 damage. And then Rage of Ultron says, Ultron attacks you, discard the top card of your deck for each damage dealt. So we take 3 damage here. We're going down to 13. And then we're going to discard the top 3 cards of our deck. Goes Maria Hill and Supersonic Punch. All right, and that is back to us. Man, on the attacks, Ultron does so much, but I think we might be fine here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have Iron Man go ahead and thwart for 2 off of the main here. I put this little 1 counter on here so I remember for step 1. We're going to use the arc reactor to ready up, and we're going to thwart for 2 again, just so that we can get rid of that completely. I think we want to definitely flip down, get the Stark Tower if we can. I don't know if I want to Repulsor Blast, though, just to reset the deck. I think the answer to that is no. So yeah, we definitely want the Stark Tower down. I think I'm going to flip down here. I'm going to use my... I'll start with the Futurist ability. We're going to look at the top 3, pick 1 to add, and then discard the rest. I think we're going to add our Mark V helmet here, discard these 2. Then what we're going to do is... we have Pepper Potts, Supersonic Punch. We need to get a Gauntlet in hand for sure, because we're about to reset the deck. So we're going to spend these 2 resources here. Go ahead and play Stark Tower. We're going to use the Alter Ego action to get the topmost tech upgrade from my discard and add it back to my hand. We're going to go ahead and grab one of our powered gauntlets here. And then... I think we're just going to spend 1 resource here. Go ahead and play down the Mark V helmet. We don't need the Mark V armor really to be showing at all, so we'll just put it under Pepper Potts here. We know we just have extra health. But yeah, all these ones that actually have abilities that they can use, we'll just keep them in hand. We'll keep the powered gauntlet in hand, and we'll just ready up here. We'll draw up to 6, so we are going to deck out here. We're going to get a face down encounter card. Okay. Need 4 more cards here. Let's see. All right, we're doing decent on the build out here, and then maybe we can start doing some damage. Okay, let's see what we can do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I like the Maria Hill. I like the Make the Call. Yeah, I do like a lot of these cards. All right, it's back to Ultron here. So Ultron is going to add 1 threat to the main scheme. After step 1 in the villain phase, we can add 2 threat there or put a drone minion. I think we'll go ahead and add a drone minion here. We're going to use Hawkeye's response, get rid of an arrow counter, and we're going to discard that drone minion. Now Hawkeye is going to, Ultron is going to go ahead and scheme against us with a base of 2, 3, 4. So it goes up to 5 here. And now we get 2 encounter cards. First one, Concussive Blast. Deal 1 damage to each friendly character. So this is why we didn't swing with Hawkeye. We're going to take a damage. And then I'm also going to take a damage. And then Android Efficiency. Each player puts the top card of their deck, engage with them as a drone minion. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to use our last arrow counter here. And go ahead and defeat that. 2 lead from the front. And that's to us. Okay, I think we're going to start off with our Futurist ability. We're going to look at the top 3 here. Add 1 to our hand, and the rest is discarded. The Power of Leadership is going to go crazy here. So I think did we add the Make the Call? Yeah, we'll add a second Make the Call to hand, and the Power of Leadership will go in my discard at the top. Then what we're going to do is we're going to use Make the Call, and we're going to use Pepper Potts here, using the Power of Leadership in our discard pile to go ahead and play Maria Hill. Where is she? There she is. And that Make the Call is discarded. We get to draw with her response. After she enters play, each player draws a card. Now what we want to do is we definitely want to get our gauntlets in play, because that'll put us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll have a 6 hand size, which will be really good. I think we want to keep vision in hand as well. Okay. I think what I want to do now is Repulsor. No, we want to play for sure. Maybe we spend vision, or maybe we go aerial. Hold on, let me think about this. We spend these 2 to play the gauntlets, so I'm gonna spend these 2 resources to go ahead and play my gauntlets here. We need a bit of space, it looks like, so let's move it over. Let's go. Yeah, I think it can go there. So the gauntlets are in. We deal 1 damage to an enemy, or 2 if we have the aerial trait, which is pretty good. And then I think we'll just spend this to go aerial, and then keep the Make the Call so we can play Hawkeye again next turn, which sounds like a plan. Okay, we think we're going to go ahead and flip up here into Iron Man. So now we have a hand size of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. We're going to go ahead and thwart for... Wait, can we make the call Hawkeye? Oh, we could have made the call him right now, but that's okay. We'll use him to block. We're going to go ahead and thwart for 2 off of the main, bringing it to 5. We're going to use our Mark 5 helmet to bring this down to 2. And then we're going to have Maria Hill thwart for 2. It's going to bring it down to 0, which is really good for us. She's going to take a consequential here. Then what we're going to do is... I think we're going to spend this on the rocket boots. We're going to gain the aerial trait. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. That'll go ahead and exhaust our rocket boots. So we are aerial currently. We're going to use our powered gauntlets here to deal 2 damage to Ultron, bringing him down to 18. Then what we're going to do is use the arc reactor to go ahead and ready Iron Man. And then we're just going to swing on him for 1 here, bringing him down to 17. And that's our turn. I'm going to go ahead and ready up all of our things here. We're going to keep these 2 in hand and draw up 4 more cards. 2, 3, and 4. 2 Repulsor Blast, Vision. Oh my goodness, this is crazy for sure. Okay, I don't think we'll be able to play both of the Repulsor Blasts just yet, but let's see what Ultron does. Man Seam's going to go up to 1. We're going to use the thing to put 2 more threat on it, so make it go up to 3. He's going to attack us. When he attacks you, we put the top card of our deck and play as an Ultron drone, and then he gets +1 attack. So he's attacking us with the base of 3. We're going to go ahead and block with Hawkeye. A base of 3, 4, 5 here. Hawkeye is defeated. Now what's going to happen is the drone's going to attack us. We're going to go ahead and just take that, bring us down to 11. And now we're going to get an encounter card here. Drone Factory. Each player puts a top card of their deck into play with them face down, engage with them as a drone minion. Place 1 threat here for each drone minion in play. Oh no. Okay, that's not horrible, but this does come in with 6 threat, which is more than I want to deal with. But it's back to us now. Okay. Yeah, we kind of just have to thwart out Drone Factory here. I do want to get Hawkeye back into place. Let's try and plan this turn the best of my ability. We're definitely going to put our powered gauntlets down for sure. So we're going to spend this strength, get down the second powered gauntlets. We're going to just put them one on top of each other. Even though it's not the most efficient use of space. Actually, we'll put the arc reactor over here, right next to Iron Man, because this is what readies him. We'll put both of the powered gauntlets right here. And yeah. That should be good. Okay, so we're here. We gotta thwart out Drone Factory for sure, or we can leave it in play because of Master Plan, which might actually be smarter. Maybe we don't keep Vision in hand. How many make the calls do I have left? Let me look here. Let's go ahead and pick up my discard real quick. There's still 1 left in the deck. So if we want a Vision for later, we can get him. But I think for now, we're going to go ahead. We're going to spend Pepper Potts here and Vision for Make the Call. So that's 3 resources. 3 resources are going to go ahead and get us Hawkeye back into the fold. He's going to get all 4 of his arrow counters back, which is great to keep all these drones in check. And then we keep all the drones in check. We have 2 repulsor blasts. Which we might as well. We'll probably just end up spending one. We're going to have both of these powered gauntlets just ping off both of these drones here. So it was Inspired and Haymaker. So that's pretty good. We're going to have Maria Hill thwart for 2 off of Drone Factory. She's going to be defeated for consequential. Actually, no, I think we just leave it there. We're going to leave Maria Hill to block for us, but we will thwart for 4. So we're going to thwart for... we're going to thwart for 2 there. We're going to ready. And then we're going to thwart for 2 off of the main. Then we have the Mark V helmet, which... I think we'll take it off of Drone Factory here, bringing it to 3. And we have 2 repulsor blasts in hand. Do I want to spend them? I think the answer is yes. We'll spend 1. Yeah, we'll spend 1 repulsor blast here. We're going to deal 1 damage to an enemy. Discard the top 5 cards of our deck. And for every lightning bolt, we deal more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what we discarded here. 1. Okay, 1, 2. There's 4 lightning bolts here. We didn't get rid of any of our make the calls. So there's 4 lightning bolts. It's 1 damage for each lightning bolt. It's 2 additional damage. So it's 3. So it's 3, 5, 7, 9 damage here to Ultron. So that's going to bring him from 17 down to 8, which is really good here because we want to get him out of phase 2 as fast as possible. Because he stops putting a drone into play when he goes into phase 3. The drones do get a bit beefier for sure, but he completely stops putting them into play. And I think that's it for our turn. We're going to just ready up and draw up to our printed hand size of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, not printed, but our hand size of 6. Actually, we'll have Hawkeye swing on Ultron here as well for 1. But then he'll get readied up anyways. Oof, got to be careful with all these counters. Okay. And he takes a consequential damage here. All right. Ready up and get our hand size of 6 here. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, Avengers Mansion. Make the call. Yeah, this is a good hand. Lead from the front is good. Okay. This is going to go up to 3 because of the acceleration icon. Printed on Drone Factory. Ultron is going to go ahead. Oh, step 1 of the villain phase. Let's not forget. We can place 2 threat or put a drone in play. Let's put a drone in play. We're going to have Hawkeye spend his counter here. So it's a rocket boots going to our discard. Then Ultron's going to attack us. When he attacks, you put the top card of your deck face down. It's going to come in. We're going to spend another arrow counter dealing 2 damage to defeat Mockingbird. Then what we're gonna do is he's gonna still continue to attack us. We should be readied up. We're gonna have Maria Hill block this for a base of 2, 3, 4. So Maria Hill is defeated here. Then he's gonna get an encounter card. We're gonna flip this up. Under attack, each player chooses to either place 2 threat here or deal 3 damage to their hero. We're just gonna take 3 damage here. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go down to 8 health, and that's it. All right, and that comes in with 3. Okay, so we have a lot of threat we need to manage here. But if we go aerial, we should be able to remove 1 from everything and then thwart 2, so it's going to be really good. Okay, so we do want to be able to go aerial for sure. I just want to see, what are we making the call this turn is the big question. I like Mockingbird a lot. I really do. I don't think we need the Nick Fury draw right now. I do also like Vision. I think we just, or we can do Maria Hill again. I think I like Mockingbird because I'm going to stay up another turn. So what I want to do is, let's spend these 3 resources here. Should we do the pepper pots to gain it? No. Let's spend these 3 resources here for, oh no, it's only 2. No, we want to get Mockingbird. These 3 resources here for make the call. We're going to get Mockingbird into play. Yeah, we want the stun on Ultron because we do want to push him into his next phase eventually. Where's Mockingbird at? There she is. So after she enters play, we can stun an enemy. So Ultron has no stalwart or anything. I don't even think it was a thing at this point. So he will not be giving us another drone next turn, which is really nice. Well, at least not through his attacking ability. Okay, now we have these resources left in our hand. We do want to go aerial here for sure. So I think we are going to do that. We're going to discard the Avengers Mansion to go aerial here. Then I'm going to use the... Oh, not yet. Wait. I guess for the make the call, they should have been on top. Yeah, okay. The energy should have been on top here. Okay, let's do that first. We're going to spend pepper pots here and the power of leadership. That's 3 resources to get down a helicarrier. Helicarrier is going to help us just reduce some cost of future things. We have the Avengers Mansion in hand, but we're going to discard it for the rocket boot. So now we are aerial. We're going to use the Mark V helmet to remove 1 threat from a scheme, 1 from each scheme instead if you have the aerial trait. I'm not sure. This says thwart and there's a, there's a crisis icon, so I don't think it goes off the main, which is okay, I think. But we do get it off these 2. We're going to go have Iron Man thwart for 2, thwarting off of under attack here. We're going to exhaust to ready, and then thwart for 2 off of... if we get Master Plan, it's really bad, right? Like, I think we just deal with the extra icon. So we'll just thwart for 2 off the main, bringing it down to 1. Then what we're going to do is, since we have the aerial trait, we can deal 4 damage to Ultron here. So we're going to do 4 damage to Ultron with our powered gauntlets, bring him down to 3 health. And then, what else? We can have Mockingbird swing for 1 onto Ultron here, bring him down to 2 health. She's going to take a consequential damage. And I think that's all we've got. We're going to ready up. We get 2 encounter cards this phase, but we've been doing pretty well for ourselves here. I do want to turn a flip down a heal just to be extra safe, but we have a lot of allies on the board. We have a stun. Things are going our way. We get 2 cards here, which is War Machine. This one, we get a face down encounter card. Put over his HP for now. Let's just shuffle up. And this is going pretty smoothly, all things considered. Obviously, it can go really bad really fast if we get one of the expert encounter set cards, but all things considered, I'm not minding how this is going. Okay. 4 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That should be 6 cards in our hand. Everything. Let's make sure we have everything readied up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Readied up. Okay. We have a lot of make the calls. Only War Machine is really playable in this hand. So we really don't have a lot of damage here. The lead from the front is going to help us out, though. Cool. Let's see what we can do. All right. This is going to go up to 3 because of the acceleration. We can choose to either place threat here or put a drone in play. Let's go ahead and put a drone in play. It's going to come into play. Hawkeye's going to shoot it off with his response. It was Vision. Oh, Vision is crazy. I think that's even better than War Machine. It just depends on how this goes. Okay. So now he's going to try and attack us, but he can't because he is stunned. Now we get 2 encounter cards to deal with. First one, Repair Sequence. Ultron heals 2 damage for every drone minion engaged with you. If there's no damage healed, it surges. Gang Up. The villain and each minion engaged with you attacks. So we are getting ganged up here. When Ultron attacks, we put the top card of our deck into play. As a drone minion, we're going to have Hawkeye snipe it with his last response. It's Power of Leadership. I think we'd rather just get Hawkeye back in to keep refreshing those arrows. So I'm actually going to block with Hawkeye here. So I'm declaring him as the blocker. He's attacking with a base of 2, 3, 4. That's exhaustion gone. Hawkeye is defeated here because, yeah, he has no arrow counters left. So rather get him into play just to refresh him. One last one. Ultron's Imperative. When revealed, the first player puts the top 2 cards of their deck into the play face down with them as drone minions. Okay. So this is the top 2 cards of our deck. We'll just put them over his HP bar here, and it comes in with 2 per player threat. All right. That's back to us. So we obviously have to get rid of the side scheme. We want to probably gain aerial somehow. But I think first things first. Trying to think here. War Machine would be hilarious. I just don't think we're gonna do it. What can we do? We have a lot of options here, which is why I'm taking some time to think. We for sure want to get Hawkeye in, right? So we're gonna spend Helicarrier. I'm not sure if Helicarrier does apply to make the call here, so I think we do have to spend a resource. Do we spend the lead from the front? So we do these 3 for Hawkeye. Then we can like, well, maybe if we spend this double instead, then we can Pepper Pots it. So we spend this double instead. Can we get Hawkeye and War Machine in? So if we go like this, get in Hawkeye, then we go Helicarrier, Pepper Pots. So like Helicarrier makes him 3 Pepper Pots plus this, and we keep the make the call. I think that's the best thing we can do. We can use our Power Gauntlets to ping the drones. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so we're going to spend make the call here, spending these 3 resources. We're going to make sure that the Genius is going on top to get Hawkeye back into play, back into the fold. He's been putting in so much work this game. It's crazy. Let's get all 4 arrow counters are back on. Then we're going to use Helicarrier, reduce the cost of the next card we play. We're going to choose a player. Yes, we're going to choose us, of course. So War Machine's going to cost 3. We're going to use Pepper Pots to generate the double along with this Power of Leadership to go ahead and throw in James Rhodes War Machine in here. It's crazy. We have almost full allies. We're keeping the make the call in hand. We're going to spend both of our Powered Gauntlets this turn to just go ahead and KO both of these drones. So Repulsor Blast and Inspired gone. Man, the table is always crazy when you're on Iron Man. So we got to try our best here. Okay, we need Iron Man for sure to just thwart off these 2. Yeah, we're going to throw off Ultron's Imperative. We're going to ready and then thwart for 2 off the main like we've been doing. Keeping Drone Factory in play just in case. Oh, wait. We don't want to do that just yet. We'll thwart for 2 off the main because we want to flip Ultron because he reveals Ultron's Imperative. Search the encounter deck and discard power for Ultron's Imperative and reveal it. So it's not in either, but it does say shuffle the encounter deck. So I think we do have to end up shuffling it regardless. I'm not sure of the actual ruling on that. But yeah, we want War Machine just to swing for 2 onto Ultron here. So it's going to go ahead and knock Ultron into his phase 3. So in his phase 3, the good thing about it, I think it actually gets a bit easier. In the phase 3 Ultron, he like no longer actually gets It's not showing up here, but he no longer actually gets the drone minions when he attacks. All he does is he just gets +1 attack. At each drone minion gets +1 attack, +1 hit point, and he cannot take damage while there's a minion in play. And then when revealed, he looks for Ultron's Imperative in the discard and the encounter deck. So I guess we can just take a look in the encounter deck. Under Fire is still left in here, Caught Off Guard. Shadow of the Past was coming up, Business Problem. So like there's a lot of cards still left in the encounter deck that are pretty nasty, but it's looking really good for us. I'll say that much. Ultron's Imperative doesn't get revealed because it's already in play, which is such a big break. We already dealt with it last turn. We get to flip him. This is a game where everything is seemingly going right. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna ready up, and we're gonna Thor for 2 off of Ultron's Imperative just to instantly clear it. So that's pretty cool. Then what we're gonna do, we have 1 card in hand. We're gonna use our Mark V helmet to go ahead and remove 1 threat from the main, just completely clearing that off. We can't go aerial. We already attacked with War Machine. He needs a consequential damage. Also, I didn't put Ultron's health, which is 27. So Ultron is not going down without a fight. Still has a ton of health left. I think we're going to have Mockingbird swing for 1. And then we'll have Hawkeye swing as well. Oh, it's so hard. So many things are in play right now. Okay, Hawkeye swings. And then Mockingbird swings. So that's 2 damage on Ultron, bringing him to 25. And that's our turn. We're going to ready everything back up. So hopefully we'll be able to burst him down here in the next couple of turns, barring any insane plays. But drawing up, it's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, when did I get the second Power Gauntlets? I haven't even been drawing up to 7. Which might change the game a little bit, but not crazily. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we have 6. Our hand size is 7, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. That's to us. Ultron is going to go ahead and he's going to go ahead and put 1 threat on the main scheme here. For step 1, we can choose for him either to put a drone in play or put a drone in play or 2 threat. We'll just put the drone in play. So this is going to go into play. Hawkeye's going to shoot it with his response. It's a strength, which is really good for Pepper Potts. This is an absolutely crazy game. We're going to have Mockingbird go ahead and block this attack. He has a base of 4. That's why I didn't really ready her here. Hawkeye should also have a consequential, but I'll just move it from Mockingbird. Base of 4. 5 damage into Mockingbird, so Hawkeye will just take this 1 consequential. Mockingbird is defeated here. We do lose the double that was in our discard, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, and then just an encounter card here. Okay, let's see it. Advance. He's gonna go ahead and scheme against us for a base of 2. Oh my gosh, into the other advance. That's absolutely crazy. So just for a base of 2, so it goes up to 3, and now it's back to us. All right, this might be all she wrote. Ultron is not putting up very much of a fight here, in my opinion. I think we actually might just play Nick Fury for damage, or do we even have him draw cards? I'm trying to think. Yeah, this is not going well for our friend Ultron here. Let's see what we can do. I think what we can do, yeah, maybe we just do the damage. It would be funny for sure. Yeah, why not? Why not? We'll do the Helicarrier to reduce the cost of Nick Fury. We'll spend these 3 resources here. Go ahead and play Nick Fury. I think we'll just have him. Yeah, we'll have him draw us 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Okay. It's not looking like I really want to repulse or blast looking at what we drew into. But I think we will Supersonic Punch for sure. Yeah. Okay. It's going to be a big damage turn. We're going to go ahead and spend the make the call here. We're going to go aerial. So now we are aerial. We're going to spend these 2 resources here to go ahead and do a supersonic punch on the Ultron. Deal 4 damage to an enemy, 8 instead if you have the aerial trait. It's going to bring him from 25 down to 17, which is crazy. 8 damage, 2 for 8. Now what we're going to do is, we have the aerial trait, we have the helicarrier left. We're going to use pepper pots to generate the top resource, which is a supersonic punch. Spend a repulsor blast so we can play lead from the front. Choose a player, that's going to be us. Each character that player controls gets +1 thwart and attack until the end of the phase. So we're going to have a big damage turn here. We're going to have Iron Man swing for 2 and then swing for 4, because we're going to use the arc reactor to ready. So that's 4 damage here, bringing Ultron down to 13. Then we're going to have Nick Fury go ahead and swing for 3, bringing Ultron down to 10. We're going to have War Machine here swing for 3. This is going to bring Ultron down to 7. Oh, I think we just barely missed the kill here, it looks like, which is fine. And then we're going to have Hawkeye swing for 2. Ultron down to 5. It's going to go 2 damage here. And then we're going to do 4 damage with our powered gauntlets, because we do 2 damage if we have the aerial trait. So that's going to bring this down to 1. And have the aerial trait. We're going to use a Mark 5 helmet, remove 1 from each scheme. So it's going to go down to 1. Ultron has 1 health left, and we're just going to ready up. Nick Fury has a consequential on him as well. It's just I'm going to defend with him, so I'm not putting it on currently. Okay, and that is back to Ultron. He has 1 health here. He is really living on, living on a thread here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Let's see what we can do. So Ultron is gonna put 2 threat onto the main. It's gonna go up to 4. We can either place a threat or get a drone minion. We'll get a drone minion. We'll just spend the counter here. So Haymaker is gone. He's gonna attack us. He no longer gets a drone when he attacks. He no longer gets a drone when he attacks, which is good. He's just gonna attack us. We're gonna block with Nick Fury. That's a base of 4, 5 damage. Nick Fury is defeated. Then what we're going to do is he's going to reveal an encounter card. Let's see what it is. Concussive Blast. The villain gains Retaliate 1. And that's going to be all she wrote in this episode of Marvel Rewind. Yeah, this wasn't very close in my opinion at all. We're going to go ahead and spend 2 resources here to play. Ooh. There's really nothing we can do about that, huh? Yeah, let's go ahead and play 2 resources here to play Maria Hill. We get to draw a card. Hit Supersonic Punch. Gonna shuffle up our deck. And then we get an encounter card, but it's not gonna matter. We're just seeing how much overkill we can get here. We can get a really big swing turn once again. Because we got another what's it called? Lead from the front here. Okay. Then we're going to play the lead from the front, right? Yeah, I'm going to play the lead from the front here. And we're going to leave this mental one on top. So everyone gets +1 to their attack and thwart. We're going to use Pepper Pots to go ahead and become aerial here. So we're just going to swing for 2 damage, 3 damage. So that's 2 damage, 3 damage, 2 damage, 4 damage. Okay, let's count this up. So that's 1, 2 damage from Hawkeye. So that's going to knock him into 1 overkill. He's going to be defeated. Then we're going to do 3 damage. So that's 4 overkill. Then this is going to be 2 more. That's 6 overkill. All of these allies would be defeated. Then we're going to swing twice for 4. It's going to be 10 overkill. Then we're going to do these 2 powered gauntlets for 14 overkill. And then we're going to spend a supersonic punch for these 2 resources for 8. That's going to be, what was I at? Oh, I think I was at 14, right? So that was 6 for 22 damage. So we did 23 damage that turn. So almost enough to kill him from full. We would have taken how many retaliates? 1, 2, 3, 4. We would have been at 4 health here. All of the minions would have been dead. But that is it. That is Marvel Rewind. That is Ultron Expert completed with Leadership Iron Man. Yeah, that was crazy. It wasn't even close, to be honest. The encounter cards he flipped were just not good. We got a crazy setup at the beginning. Let's go down to the table and look at the deck list right now. Okay, so here we are back at the table. We're doing another core box deck list. It never gets any less weird, but that's what this series is, so let's go ahead and do it. Here we have Iron Man's 15 specific hero identity cards. You have the crazy ones like Powered Gauntlets, which are super good in this one. Pepper Potts is absolutely crazy. It's just a helicarrier that sometimes high rolls into like creating a double, and it's so good with like the rocket boots, getting a mental resource. It's just so good. The repulsor blast, and then possibly the best card, not that I've ever seen, but the best card in this kit for me is Arc Reactor. Just being able to get a ready for free just for spending 2 for the rest of the game is so good. We're looking at our basic kind of events here. We're on 1 first aid just in case we wanted to keep an ally alive for a little longer. We're on triple Haymaker. The main reason is that Ultron has a lot of like low health enemies. You have like the Ultron drone with guard with 4 health, and you also have, the actual drones themselves, which only have 1 to 2 health, whether you're on stage 3 or have the extra environment in play. But it's a little small instance of 3 damage, so you don't have to use your basic activation. But the real reason is for that resource icon in the lower left-hand corner being the energy resource, which combos so well with Repulsor Blast. And that's really something I wanted to lean into. I only got to play 1 in the playthrough, as you just watched. But because I'm on 15 energy like resource icon count, my Repulsor Blast just have a higher likelihood of going off. And, that one that did, 9 damage really did go off in that way. So yeah, and then we're on the Helicarrier and Avengers Mansion, just the one-ofs. They're not super important, honestly, for Iron Man, because if you think of the cards that he puts on the table, Pepper Potts is essentially Helicarrier for all intents and purposes. And he doesn't do a ton with card draw from Avengers Mansion, because a lot of his innate damage comes from his cards, from like milling from the deck, from his allies, and then, we got a lot of use of lead from the front as well. For our, our resource cards here, we're on the 3 basic doubles and then the 2 doubles for leadership. It's core box. We take what we can. The leadership doubles are really good because, it's good for the allies and also for the card that was maybe a bit of an MVP in my opinion as well. We're on our ally list, so we have War Machine with his actual hero-specific cards. Then we have all the allies we possibly can play from the core box. Mockingbird gave us a stun, which stops him from putting a drone in phase 2. Nick Fury needs no introduction. We're on Maria Hill. Super good. Hawkeye is so good in this, against this villain. It's insane. Like, we recurred him 3 or 4 times throughout the game. We used his arrow counters every single time a drone came into play. Kept the entire board in check, and it really, showed how strong a deck can be built in the core box to go against Ultron and Expert. Then Vision here, I did want to get him out a couple times. He can really buff his own stats by spending an energy resource, but it just never really worked out. On our leadership events, we're on Triple Make the Call. This is basically still one of the most insane cards in the game. To this day, it can cheat out cards from your discard pile and whatnot. It's just so crazy. You always play it. It's essentially 3 more copies of any ally that you want. And then we have Lead from the Front here. This card, in addition to Haymaker, I did put it in here originally because of that printed energy resource, but also the hero action is just really good. You saw we got about 4 or 5 extra damage out of our characters just by playing this. 2 for 5 is a good stat line because we got 1 extra damage from all our allies, which is 3. And then we got, 2 attacks with Iron Man, which is, 5 different separate instances of an attack. That's +1 all of them. So 2 for 5 isn't bad at all for a leadership card. So it was really good for the Repulsor Blast, good for pushing damage on Ultron, who has a lot of HP. Then we're on our leadership upgrade and supports here. The Triskelion did come up a couple times, but there was never really a point in the game where I was gonna go over 3 allies. So if there was, I would have maybe prioritized playing it more, but as I saw fit, I was like, it's okay. It's also that printed energy resource, which is really good. And then 2 Inspired, just in case you wanted to mini Voltron an ally, but that was a deck list. That was a ton of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now we're going to go ahead and get to the tier list placing for Ultron. See you there. Well, we're here at the end of the episode, and now it's time to do the tier list ranking for Ultron. Now, Ultron is a really difficult one for me to rate personally. There's kind of a mindset difference you have to put in to really think about how to rate this character. When we're thinking of rating Ultron, when you know what his gimmick is with the drones and you make your deck to kind of counter and do like really small instances of damage to ping the drones, or if you play someone like Iron Man who has the powered gauntlets that can kind of just ping them for no issue, in my opinion, it makes Ultron a lot easier than someone going in with like an all-purpose deck or someone who doesn't know the gimmick and is going to get flooded by these drones before they have a chance to really handle or deal with them in an effective way. As you saw for the Marvel Rewind series, the whole point is to try and defeat every villain on expert mode while trying to get thematic, fun matchups, but that also includes maybe, you know, having a bit more knowledge on the villain, what things to play around, and maybe even slightly building a deck into the way that counters the villain. Now, I'm not sure that you can really do that to a super big extent in the core box. A lot of the core box hero kits have cards that are specifically designed to counter Ultron, where if the hero came out today, they just wouldn't have those. The biggest example that comes to mind is like Ground Stomp from She-Hulk is, for all intents and purposes, a horrible card, but it's in there so she has a fighting chance against Ultron. You know, Tony kind of has that with the powered gauntlets, but they're also so much more versatile outside of the Ultron scenario than something like Ground Stomp. So in terms of the matchup we did today, Leadership Iron Man has a really good matchup, in my opinion, into Ultron. And Hawkeye specifically shuts down Ultron hard. We were able to recur him so many times, and it made that playthrough look like a breeze. But the thing is, if you're not playing Leadership in the core box and you're bringing one of the other aspects, I think Ultron gets significantly harder than the playthrough showed in today's episode. With all that being said, if we're thinking of Ultron versus Iron Man Leadership specifically, I probably would have put him C tier, maybe B tier at the most. But if we're thinking of Ultron without sort of the crutch, if you wanted to put it that way, of Hawkeye and Leadership in general from the core box, he definitely gets a lot more difficult. Now, I'm struggling whether I want to rate this off my personal preference. That was a one-shot attempt. I did not record any additional attempts for this episode. Or if I should rate it off of what an average deck will be like facing Ultron. I think because from a new player's perspective, he has such high health on his stage 2 and his expert mode specifically that he is definitely way more challenging when you don't know what you're doing, and he deserves credit for that. Comparatively to Claw, who has like 18 into like 20 health, Ultron going from 22 to 27 is absolutely crazy. With all these factors considered, even though I personally think the playthrough was probably a B rank playthrough, he really didn't flip any encounter card that was really difficult at all. I handled the drones every time they came out. He really put up no challenges. I was able to play around his cards really effectively. If we're thinking like a deck that isn't Leadership specifically with Hawkeye and isn't tuned to beat Ultron, I think he's definitely up here with the Claw level. But in my opinion, with the core box only, I feel like a lot more heroes will struggle with Claw specifically than with Ultron, because once you know Ultron's gimmick, I feel like it's really hard to get steamrolled or lose to him. He doesn't put on a ton of pressure early. You kind of just let him advance that main scheme, and then you can sit on phase 2 for a while. That 10 threat threshold really does let you flip Alter Ego without worrying. Against Claw, you really always have to worry about flipping Alter Ego, in my opinion. So I think, honestly, this might be controversial. Just for my playthrough, though, from how easy it was for me personally, we're going to put Ultron in the A tier, but I think he's going to be under Claw. And that's it for today's episode. If you guys enjoyed that, please let me know what you thought down in the comment section below. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like. Stay tuned for next week as we go ahead and take on Norman Osborn in the Risky Business villain scenario. I hope to see you guys there. Have a great one. Take it easy. See you guys in the next one. Goodbye.